Hey, I want to apologize for not posting on one of the biggest rallies in history. And wouldn't you know it, my internet went down about 10 minutes before the market closed. It went down for the entire area, and it was down the whole rest of the afternoon on into the evening. So I apologize for not being able to update you yesterday. Not that I didn't want to, but didn't have access to the internet. The Dow, I'm going to just do a quick update. The Dow up 2,962, almost 63 points, up 7.87%, back above 40,000, 40,608. The S&P rose by over 9.5%. The S&P was up 474 points to 5,057, rounding up. Or I'm sorry, 5,457. NASDAQ rose by over 12%. A massive rally was coming. It happened. The Russell was up 8.66, and by the way, the NASDAQ 100 was up over 12% as well. The VIX dropped, the VIX was also up. Nope, that's right now's data. Pardon me. So I'm not going to look at that. But this is yesterday's close. Let's look at the futures at the moment. Let's bring up the VIX so you can see it. It dropped significantly. Right now, in pre-market hours, it's up, but it had dropped by 35%. It's up about 10%, and again, collapsing as we've had this rebound on the S&P 500. VIX dropping over 35% is predicting in the next two sessions, which is now today's session, pre-market right now, Thursday or the Friday session, that there will be a down day on the S&P. That is what the VIX is predicting, and there is a 95% chance because it was over 20% of a drop. So the VIX is predicting that in the next two trading sessions, Thursday or Friday, we will have a down day on the S&P. Right now, the futures are down. And again, I will do an update after the market session. Just a quick update here to update you on what's going on. The futures are down. The Dow is down 1.39%. The S&P is down 1.87%. So we are getting a drop. VIX could be right about a down day on Thursday. S&P down nearly 2%, 107 points with the futures. The NASDAQ is down 2.43%. Oil's been collapsing, which is really predicting an economic downturn. I warned you that the 10-year yield was sending you and me a message. We saw a big bounce here off the weekly chart. I talked about this. We're up over 10%, about 10.5% for the week so far. But previously, I warned you that the bond market was sending a message that we were going to get a big rally coming on the S&P 500. The 10-year yield has surged above the levels of Trump's Liberation Day. We've come back and we filled these gaps. We had dropped back over here at the resistance zone by 19.28%. And I told you, again, these bullish divergences were forming. We have it on the MACD. We have it up here on the RSI. And again, that the S&P was likely going to follow suit. Then we get this massive rally of over 16%, and it jumped up before Trump's announcement. It opened higher for the session. Hit a black candlestick, but the 10-year yield was trying to tell us something. Right before the announcement came, Trump went on social media and posted, "This is a great time to buy." Posted that right before the announcement came. Then we got the announcement. Trump drops the tariffs to 10% for most of the countries. The 75 countries that didn't retaliate rewarded, as the Treasury Secretary said before the launch of the tariffs, which, again, this happened the very day of the launch of the tariffs on the 9th, yesterday. China is being made an example. Retaliated hard, so Trump increased their tariffs. China making a bunch of stupid decisions over there. Not just pick up the phone and negotiate. Cannot win a trade war with the United States. They can't do it. They need the U.S. markets. They need the U.S. consumer. Again, I've been predicting a couple things are going to happen with the tariffs. Again, I talked about countries coming to the negotiating table. We're seeing that happen. You're going to see deals reached. There's going to be a rally of hope. Trump could walk things back or pause the tariffs, which he's doing. I've been telling you this over and over. Media is telling us we're going into the next Great Depression right now. We're going to have a recession. But the media is, rooting for this stock market collapse because they hate Trump. Continue to tell us it's not going to work. Well, it's working. And I keep pointing that out. You've got all these countries now negotiating with the White House, told that this rally was not going to happen. The bears told us it was going to not going to happen. The media told us forget it. We're going to collapse. This is the preview of coming attractions. I keep saying it. We got a 9.5% rally on the S&P. We got a 12% rally on the NASDAQ. Oh, that wasn't going to happen. The bears told us no way. The herd told us hope is lost. You get a record rally. It's one of the biggest rallies in history. Trump is authorizing a 90-day pause on the reciprocal tariffs for 75 of the countries. Most of the countries, it looks like, haven't retaliated. An across-the-board 10% tariff is still in effect. 125% tariff for China. Wake them up. This is a really, really smart strategy what the Trump administration is doing here, and I'll talk about that in a second. But again, this would give us a rally of hope. I keep saying it. We're also going to now see the market likely focus on the tax cuts that are coming. Now, again, the herd told us there was no possible way we rally. Again, at peaks, they tell us there's no way we're going down. At bottoms, they tell us there's no way we're going up. Bears told us this rally was not going to happen. The media told us that Trump was going to collapse the economy. Said that with the first set of tariffs, saying that now. That's what they do. Keeps telling us the tariffs won't work. The tariffs won't work. And again, I'm no fan of the tariffs. I don't like tariffs of any kind. But the strategy is working, and their ideology is telling us, oh, Trump wants these tariffs. He wants good trade deals. Are they not listening to the man talk about negotiating trade deals that are fair? He keeps saying it over and over again, yet the media keeps telling us every time Trump does this, it's going to work, it's not going to work, and yet it continues to work. Using the tariffs as a bargaining chip. Now, let me just say this. Taking an example out of China and their unwillingness to come to the negotiating table, their terrible decisions to continue to try to retaliate. They cannot win a trade war with the United States. This is really a smart trading strategy for the Trump administration. Let me tell you why. It's all these other countries that are now negotiating and China will end up coming to the negotiating table. They have to. Choice. They go into the economic abyss or they come to the negotiating table. Everybody now negotiating with Trump knows he's not going to back down, and what he's doing with China, that he's willing to call China's bluff. These people now negotiating know that if they don't try to make a reasonable deal with the United States, that all Trump's going to do is say, okay, go ahead and walk. The tariffs come back on, and we're going to do them at the half levels. We'll do it at the full level. Great negotiating tool. It's really a really smart strategy for the Trump administration to do this. Situation for Wall Street to give us a rally of hope. It's a win situation. Negotiating process, maximum leverage. Taking an example of somebody that is unwilling to make a deal that's being extremely, which is China, being extremely unreasonable. These countries know they're motivated. It's giving them a motivation to make a good trade deal with the United States, to be reasonable. Do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't see this. Blinded by their obsession with trying to play gotcha with Trump. And I'm just trying to tell you, look, we've seen this the last time with tariffs. We've seen it this time with tariffs. Trump's using it to get things he wants for the United States, whether at the border with Canada and Mexico or whether with good trade deals. Smart strategy. It's a strategy that is going to motivate countries to make deals. That's why I say you're going to end up getting a rally of hope this, and there's going to be a shift and a focus on tax cuts and other things moving into earnings season. Now, just quickly, I talked about two Elliott Wave counts. One is that we get a 5-leg push lower for an impulsive move. The other is that we have a corrective move. Rally yesterday almost invalidated bearish count, which is a 5-leg push lower for the wave 1. The wave 2, it was 54.88. We rallied up to 54.81, so it almost invalidated it. Can't be an overlap between wave 1 and 4 if this is actually 5-leg push lower, and this count would take us lower if we're taking it from this wave down. Now, the other possibility is that this is still a wave 4 of wave C. That is still a possibility. And Elliott Wave is speculation, and counts get validated and invalidated. And again, I use it for trading. I use it to try to determine things like right now. Do we have a 5-leg push lower or a 3-leg push lower? Things like that to determine future direction. Really two possibilities with the wave C. One is that it's done here and that this low is now going to hold. Really kind of hard to see right here because we have these big sell-offs and then we have this big rebound. I'll show you on the 60-minute chart real fast, maybe the 15. But again, the other possibility is this ABC move, that we have A, that we have B, and that we now have a C move either completed or about to complete. Even if we get one more push down, it could still be the C move. And I have the wave 4 here, not up here, but here on this push lower, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5. I'll show you, or we could have a truncated 5th for that. The other possibility is this is still the wave 4 of the wave C, the 5-leg push lower down. It's better seen on the 60-minute chart. Let me show you. But these are the counts. Again, I told you it still looks corrective to me, but a 5-leg push down for the Russell. We have a 3-leg push down for the S&P 500, suggesting the Russell rallies back up for the 3-leg push that the S&P is likely going to move to a new high. No one believes that's possible up until yesterday, and there's still a lot of doubt that that's going to happen. Here is a 60-minute chart, and I just want to show you this up close. This is the possibilities. We have 1 for the wave C. Here's a 1, a 2, possibly 3, 4, and then 5 down here. And then we start rallying back up. That completes wave C. That completes intermediate wave 4. We start to rally back up, and then we get a higher low after a hammer candlestick. And when we get a higher low, Trump makes the announcement, the market goes soaring higher. This is a 60-minute chart. We got back above the 50. We're coming back up to the 200 period moving average. If we go above 54.88, it's going to invalidate the bearish count. Sorry, the bottom over here, just above that. Let me just mark that here for you. 5504.665 is the number. So again, if we end up getting with this rally above 5504, it would invalidate that because wave 1, this is my ABC count, but if this is a wave 1, wave 4 cannot overlap it. Would invalidate the bearish count. Be watching. Do we get above 5504? The low over here is still in play though. Also, if this is a 1, a 2, a 3, and this is an A, B, C for 4, and then we get 5. So both, even a push lower is still a possibility if we don't have the low in here or truncated 5th right here. A push lower still be part of a C count or part of a 5-leg push lower in the larger count from the February top. So again, just something to pay attention to. Another way to count it is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we get a truncated 5th, 5, and then this is the start of the new move higher. We end up getting a higher low, and you got your 1 and your 2, and then you get the 3 and all the rest of it that we move out of this. But again, like I said, and we very well may have bottomed. And I'll start seeing signals turn back to bullish. We got to start getting back above the 200 period. We came back, we filled this gap right here. We've come back to just under the gap right here. I told you we were going to see a powerful move to come back and fill these gaps. It's still going to happen, but we got to finish the bottoming process either with another higher low or end up taking this level out. But those are the different ways to count it. Do we have a truncated 5th? Do we have the completing of a 5-leg push lower right here? or a 3 and a 4 and a 5, a truncated fifth right here where they're almost equal. Couple different ways to count it, and again, we'll be watching to see which counts get invalidated. So again, and do we push above 5504 to invalidate the bearish count? And get a push lower with this low right here, but again, if you remove the shadows, you move slightly lower right here than this level right here, marking a potential divergence. The RSI doesn't look at the shadows, so it looks at the closing bar. So potentially you still have possibly a divergence in play here. Watching, does the low that we had over here, does it hold? To the daily chart, you could still get these divergences forming. The RSI did move to a new low, so it's still possible we go to a new low. We'll be watching to see what happens there. MACD already moved to a new low. It's not getting a bullish cross yet. So again, does the rally just continue, or do we come back and we test the lows? S&P is at risk of a death cross. Said the death cross can be associated with a bearish phase or a bear market, with the bearish phase in 2022. The bear market in 2007, 8, and 9. Sometimes you can get a death cross and it can mark a bottom. You can either bottom before the death cross happens or with the death cross, and that can be associated with a bottoming process. Which will this be? I'm watching that closely. So watch the RSI. We don't have to form a divergence on the RSI. You could. You don't have to. It's true for the MACD. Stochastic became very, very oversold and has turned back up. So again, can we build upon the rally? And the lows hold? We'll be watching. So far, the move still looks corrective to me. I believe we're going to go to new highs. Same thing for the NASDAQ. We have the same thing here. The NASDAQ daily chart, again, the RSI moved to an extreme. Still could form a divergence, but again, the bottom very well could be in. Again, the MACD moving to a new low. Now, again, one reason why I think that the S&P is still getting an ABC is, though there was no overlap on the S&P, we have had it here with the NASDAQ. This first leg down right here, if this is a wave 1, a wave 2, and now we're getting this wave 3, this is wave 4, well, there's already an overlap. And down here with this push lower, if this isn't a bottom, there's already, with this wave C scenario, there's already an overlap right here for this 1, 2, 3, push down to here. So again, it's very possible that with this powerful rally we've had in now, that the bottom is in, completing an ABC move. And again, this does look like an ABC structure. I continue to say it. It looks corrective to me. It doesn't look like an impulsive move. It looks like a corrective move, an ABC structure. We get overlap with the NASDAQ for the bearish count, so that count is now being invalidated. Okay, you can't have the overlap. As this is wave 4, there can't be an overlap. Unless it's a leading diagonal in a series of 3s to the wave down, to the push downward. Might be a bit of a stretch to get that count out of this move. It looks more like a 5-leg structure, like a measured type of a move in an ABC correction. So you do have overlap here for the bearish count. You do have overlap here suggesting this is a wave 4 in the C. So again, we very well may have bottomed this powerful rally back up, but we're pulling back right now at the moment. Futures, NASDAQ daily chart. You're watching for clues of a bottom. Could it be, though, that, again, NASDAQ has invalidated the bearish count, and NASDAQ has invalidated this as a wave 4 for the C. Be that we end up seeing the S&P and the NASDAQ diverge from one another with the next push down. That's certainly possible as well. They often do. Regardless, we'll be watching for clues. There's more work to be done. We got to be able to flip the signals. All begin to need to flip back to bullish. We don't have that yet. So again, we get this powerful rally back up, but there's still more work to be done. We got to flip the bars back to green. We got to flip this line back to blue. We got to flip this, get above these lines, and then flip this line back to green. Flip this. Flip this line back to blue. Flip this line, the dotted line there, back to green. And I made the line with little circles so you could see the difference, see which line is which. These two lines, you got to be able to get back above them, and we've come right back up to them. So again, more work to be done, but a powerful rally indeed. We were told was not going to happen. Like I said, we're in a bottoming process, and we're going to an even bigger rally than this, a massive rally back up. Guess is we're probably going to move to new highs, as I've said. I'll do an update after the market closes.